some fireplaces. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Evening. What a panel tonight we have. We have the real ones here tonight. No bullshit. This is proper chat tonight. There's way too much bullshit going on today, which we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about that. Matty, welcome, mate. How are you? How's it going?
Doing good on a nice, brisk fall afternoon here in Georgia. Doing well. Always good to be amongst the brethren.
Well, good to have you on, man. I saw you earlier on with Tony and the other fella.
Yeah.
Lee, how you doing, mate? Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me, man. Big up the chat. Big up Matty. Big up yourself, Jez. Big up Kenny. And make sure you're smashing the likes. And yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just watching Horsham Barnsley, as I'm sure we all are. And it looks absolutely freezing and reminds me exactly why I don't want to go back to that country.
Yeah. I mean, I said to you guys backstage, that ground is literally half a mile from me. I think I just looked it up. It holds 1,500 max. So,
Fair play. It looks rammed as well. It looks like a full house.
Yeah, well, it all floods up there. It's fucking crazy, man. But yeah, shame, really. The last time it was probably 22 years ago. The old Horsham ground. I went there to watch them in the third round against Swansea, and they got a draw at home. And then they went to the Swansea ground and got absolutely battered about 5-0. But yeah, there you go. Never mind. Kenny Ken, good to have you here, mate. How you doing?
I just thought as soon as we're all in a day, I knew about this. I knew about what we're going to talk about, because I think what's happening, right, is that we're always going to have great material, and when all four of us get together on your show, Jess. But to give us this gift, I'm just so happy, mate, because this is going to be showing itself, because I think some people need to be called out, really, really need to be called out, for exactly what they're doing, because we'll get into it, but seriously, mate, seriously, one thing we'll say. You can't backtrack now. It's no good saying what he said was okay and he wasn't too bad. You can't say, oh no, I didn't mean it. No. By having him on your show when his son has been dropped, and that there's an undercurrent of feeling against his replacement, which never gets mentioned, but I will mention it because I've been at away games when he's been slaughtered by fans of like I said, the player's been dropped. Well, I'm sorry, you've opened up a can of worms that should have been dealt with. You don't have someone on your show when their son's been dropped. You just don't do it. Simple.
This is something, I think it's becoming so wrong in football. I'm sorry, but parents should stay out of it. At the end of the day, they cause more bloody disruption than is necessary. I mean, I didn't actually see that myself, but I've heard about it, and I've heard from you guys during the chat today. Lee, I mean, it's just a joke, isn't it? Why would you do that? No, I mean, why would you go on that show, right? And say that bullshit. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. It's going to do more harm than good, surely.
Well, first and foremost, the person who owns that channel, I've never actually met, or the person who was on that channel last night, the host. I've never actually met her. Well, I'm sure she's nice enough. But as far as I'm aware,
she was at Anfield 89, though. She was at Anfield 89. Got a bunch of flowers, apparently.
But as far as I'm aware, works in the media. Yeah, Sky Sports have shared it, tagged the channel. Like, it is what it is. And listen, Kevin Campbell won us major honours. Big up to Kevin Campbell. Yeah, but at the same time, like, it's almost like, for me, like, I'll come back to that in a second. I just want to divert somewhere else. Right? It's almost like, because this guy's English, it's being peddled too much. Like Sky Sports, Sky Sports, like I said, shared that. And obviously it's massive news. Fabrizio Romano's posted it to nearly 20 million followers. All the top accounts are posting it, the biggest accounts. Everyone's getting their mitts on it. I've posted a video. Yeah, obviously my video is not agreeing with most of this lot. And I'm actually in backing of the club and in favour of the club for what they've done. But at the same time, you can't sit there and criticise people like us for not backing a player, right? And, just back them. They play for the club. Just back them. Just back them. Give them time. They were misunderstood. You can't then swerve the other way when it's one of your favourites who jumps on your podcasts and gets in the away end with the fans so you can have a little selfie with Nick. Oh, I met Ramsdale's dad. Oh, Ramsdale's always smiling. I'm sorry, mate. This isn't Bournemouth, with all due respect. This isn't, was it Woking he played for? This isn't AFC Wimbledon. This isn't Sheffield United. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is an elite level football club. Yeah, this is a club that people around the world support. And most people around the world want competition for positions and squad depth in every single position. So why is it now an issue when the manager that they've all been backing for 4 years, when, let's be real, for nearly 3.5 years of them, he's failed to do anything apart from make their feelings feel a bit better on match day by the likes of Ramsdale's dad being in the crowd and getting on podcasts, and it's a family feel, right? And promoting the hell out of everything. They've dropped more merch today. The Invincible edition, celebrating our 20 years without a title. Shameless. But anyway, so you then don't want to back this goalkeeper. Sky Sports, every time Raya makes a save or makes an error, straight on Ramsdale on the bench, biting his nails or rubbing his beard and like, blah, blah, blah. And he knows the camera's on him because obviously they must have a TV in the back of the seat or whatever, or an iPad down below you can't see and he's watching it. So for me, it seems a little bit too calculated. Yeah, I don't know what their intentions are. Yeah, but the one thing I will say, yeah, I never knew who Paul Merson's dad was. I never knew who David Seaman's dad was. I never knew who Patrick Vieira's dad was. Dennis Bergkamp's dad. Yeah, and it seems all too many times this happens with English football players. Mason Mount's dad sitting in the dressing room when he signs for United and all of that. Yeah, Harry Maguire's mum coming out, backing him for all the abuse he's getting. Yeah, his brother and sister constantly tweeting rubbish, slagging off club legends of that football club. You know, it's happening way too much. Rashford's PR and all of this. And it seems like if it's an English player and he gets dropped, their nose gets knocked out of joint. But they've got a conflict of interest here, Jez, because on one hand, they're backing the manager to the high heavens. But now the manager they're backing to the high heavens, that they're saying we need a bigger squad, we need to fix the squad depth, is now dropping a keeper whose father is in the crowd on most away games, if not all, taking selfies with him and jumping on their podcasts. So now they can't upset him because otherwise they won't get the podcast done again. They won't be able to get the selfie again. So now what do? Now they're going to turn, they can't turn on the manager. So now they turn on the player, the goalkeeper who's just joined the club. Kenny, you was at the game where they were singing Ramsdale's name when Raya was in goal.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
That was an absolute disgrace.
Where was this level of backing when Kieran Tierney was just binned out of the team when he's won more than anyone at the club? Where was this level of backing when Nicola Pepe was just sat down on the bench for no apparent reason, yet we've kept Reece Nelson for no apparent reason either? Right? Where was this level of backing when Mesut Ozil was just swatted away to the side? Where was this level of backing when the guy won us an FA Cup final with his brace in the final, second goal sick? Where was this when he was playing left wing back, dropping stinkers? Why don't you just back him? Because these lot seem to pick and choose the all they want to back. You're either backing everyone or you're backing no one. You can't pick and choose. And at the end of the day, they're paid employees. And that geezer's dad, is only a reflection on that podcast Yeah, and I watched it today. Yeah, I watched a little bit this morning. I finished it off today, and I've watched that. Some of the stuff he said on there is shocking, right? And not only that, he is only a reflection of his son. Yeah, because obviously him and his son are tight. He's going to back his son. I get that. But nobody cares what Nick Ramsdale's got to say, really. And we only care because now it's going against the good and great of us moving forward. Because let's be real, he ain't that good. And the goalkeeper we brought in, fair enough, hasn't proved that he's better in certain ways. But he's been here 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Look at number 29. Yeah, they're backing him left, right, and centre. Why? Yeah, make it make sense.
I don't get it, man. I this is why I just say this. Some of these YouTubers out there, you know, I just don't. They just flip flop all the bloody time, and it pisses me off. To be fair, because if you actually believed in what you actually said, then I honestly think you'd get more respect. But I mean, that particular YouTube channel we're talking about, I mean, talks crap anyway. She's an out and out liar. This is the one I told you the story of ages ago, that she was at Anfield seated but couldn't remember where she was, and she got a bouquet of flowers.
No, I think Jez. That was the other one who still goes, and she's on another podcast. But the one you're talking about was is someone who's got.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my apologies. I retract that. I got it wrong.
Yeah,
I do apologize.
I think she's got good connections with players in the US because she's based in the USA.
That's the other one. Yeah, I do apologise. I retract that stuff. And,
you know, yeah.
Anyway, Kenny, I'm going to come to Matty about this. I'm going to come to Kenny. I saw on the WhatsApp chat a lot of chat in our group today about all this and all the other crap that's going on. I mean, I just don't get it. As Lee's just said, I never heard about Tony Adams' mum and dad talking about when he got done for drink driving and ended up in prison. I never saw any of that. I've never seen anything back in the time of parents getting involved. And I think actually this has done more harm to Ramsdale than it's done good. The guy's going to be made to look a bloody clown now. And honestly, these people need to shut their bloody mouths and stay out of it. Seriously. But go on, man. Can you say what you got to say, bro?
Well, first and foremost, the fact is that you've got someone who's got good connections with journalists, and you've got an ex-player who have basically facilitated this, knowing full well that there's been an undercurrent of feeling against Raya because he's had the temerity to be chosen ahead of Ramsdale, their favourite. An ex-player is involved in that. A journalist should know better when they know full well, because this has been no secret. I've been talking about this for anyone can hear. I've done it in both your shows, and I've been very public about what I witnessed at Stamford Bridge. And when after Modric scored a goal, and after Cole Palmer nearly robbed Raya, who, by the way, is carrying out his manager's instructions, there was fans openly singing for Aaron Ramsdale and screaming at Raya to be dropped. Now, on the backdrop of this, you had Sky Sports, Gary Neville, Alan Smith, and every time on Sky on the Monday night shows, people criticising Arteta's decision. They don't know why he's dropped Ramsdale. The only person who's backed it is Jamie Carragher. He's done it on Sky, only reluctantly, but he did it in the CBS in America, where he thought he'd be able to get away with it. So knowing all that, they've had him on the show. Let's not forget, you're talking about someone who's got connections to the media, is as good as a journalist, the next player who knows full well that our manager has been tracking Raya for 3 years. It was an open secret. If I knew, they knew. Yet they got the guy on the show because, let's face it, it's not the first time he's been on shows. He's been on other shows with Gooner in America. He's been on that show at Christmas. But to have him on the show is madness, but they've done it because at the end of the day, they're a business and they wanted to get views. But let's go back to what the situation is. They're now saying his interview wasn't all that bad and it was from emotion. Well, not so what if it wasn't that bad? You can't backtrack and try and put the genie back in the bottle. Why are you having them on the show when the club is won a couple of matches? They're still undercurrent of feeling. There's still people who think the club haven't been done well. But the most emotive issue, which is even bigger than Tierney, bigger than Partey being allegedly injured, is this. You've done it. You've poked the bear for no reason other than to, back up, a player who you rate. It's even much worse. The fact is, right, everyone knows that next Ramsdale was dirty about it because I've said that as well. People go to away games have told me that he says a lot worse than what he said before. He's absolutely dirty about this. Now, if I know he's dirty about this, and all the Arsenal fans who ain't prominent knows he's dirty about it, they will know he's dirty about it. So why have him on the show? And the thing is, right, the things he said, right, about he hasn't been given a reason, and that why sign a contract and get another player in? Well, that happens a lot in football. We've got many players who sign new contracts only for a player in that position to be signed. You know why they sign a new contract and they sign other players? It's called competition for places. It's called squad depth. So the ex-player on there knows that. The fact is, our manager does not rate Aaron Ramsdale.
No.
Aaron Ramsdale has had 2 years to cement that place and he failed. All right? We all know Arteta wants to play at the back. We know Ramsdale cannot facilitate this. We know that in home games last season, we were not keeping clean sheets. We're having more shots on goal with Ramsdale in goal. These are just footballing facts. So to say, to start, goading the guy into criticising Raya to the extent that the guy has to go up and say, oh, yeah, by the way, let's all back Raya. Well, he wouldn't have to say, why is he saying let's back Raya if they weren't putting booby traps for him by saying, oh yeah, but Raya's did this, he's made mistakes in this game, he's made mistakes in that game, and he's not that much better than your son. The damage has already been done. The minute you announced that show and it had Nick Ramsdale on there, it's been done. So you can't backtrack and say, oh, it wasn't that bad. It's bad to have him on a show, especially when the footballing reasons are valid. It shouts that he shouldn't be in goal. And even if Raya doesn't live up to expectations, that guy's never going to get a game. And it's not because of this interview and because he's used his dad's defending like he should do. It's because Mick Arteta does not rate Aaron Ramsdale. He'll go and get another number one. So right now, Arteta is well within his rights to say, right, Raya's, like I said, is still owned by Brentford. He can't play because of conflict of interest. I was going to play Ramsdale, but he wasn't that great against West Ham, and he was all right against Brentford. But his dad's now pissed me off. I'll play Nick Hine. He's well within his rights to do that.
Well, I think that rule's obsolete anyway.
We don't know because I know he had permission to play in the cup game. But is he going to be able to play in the Premiership game? We don't know that. But either way, Aaron Ramsdale, his time is up already. All they've done is just cemented what we already know. So
I just want to bring Matt in. I'll get your view, and then we're going to move on. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about Ramsdale all night. And Matty, I'm just going to just cut the comments, man. Pain like Bane, big up, great channel, fantastic panel. Yeah, you don't get any better than this, mate. Don't get any better than this. Joseph Connor Golden, thanks, mate, for your super chat. Big up, Jez, Kenny, Lee, Southern Gooner legends. Yeah, let's get back. Matty, I think this is just a ridiculous situation where these parents get involved. I would hate it if I was in some sort of position of a level of sport and my parents had got involved. I'd be so embarrassed. seriously, I'll be thinking, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, this guy, that to me has cemented his demise at Arsenal Football Club. Matty, what do you think, mate?
If I was on the panel, I would ask his dad, "Do you change his diapers too?" That's what I would ask him.
Yeah.
I mean, at this stage of the game, if losing his place to Raya makes him lose his smile, and he's sad about that, considering we threw away a title last year, and you want to wonder why you're not the keeper anymore, you need to have a little bit more self-analysis. It's very few times I agree with Arteta on something, and this is one of them. Needs to move him on. He needs to be moved on in January. And this also highlights his frailties as a goalkeeper in pressure situations. We saw it on display last year, flapping at balls. Stuff goes by. This is also a snapshot of today's society, the silver medal society.
Yeah.
You have to compete to win. He had an opportunity. He even got someone who should have been the goalkeeper sitting on his merry way, which should have been a question. Well, how do you feel about Martinez? He came in and took his position, a World Cup winning goalkeeper. I didn't see his dad come on. I didn't see his mom come on and defend him. The bottom line here is this gentleman doesn't cut the snuff. And this actually needs to be highlighted on some of these other players we got in this team. Players that don't cut the snuff at Arsenal Football Club need to be moved on. I'm tired of looking at him personally. I'm tired of hearing about this. This man's had ample opportunities to do it, to do the job. Still, same old, same old. He came on a couple weeks ago. Same old, same old. Nothing's changed. A tiger doesn't change his stripes overnight. I don't care if he get his dad. He can go get Jesus. He can go get Mary. He can get Joseph. He can go get Santa Claus. Whoever he wants to get.
Bring the little donkey as well, man. Like, bring the little donkey.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. The man needs to be moved on. We need to bring in somebody with some competence, or we need to just scratch it and just say, you know what, screw it. Let's just put our money where our mouth is and bring in the goalkeeper that we know can get the job done. And it's just that simple. The only reason why this is a big deal is because he's an England international and everybody's going ballistic. And last time I checked, I don't see them going nuts in the England squad about all this. So it doesn't matter. It's just we've got a fan base. We've got a section of the fan base who, when it comes to their player, because we see this all of us see this all the time. 29, 35, 20, and 14. It doesn't matter what they do. If you don't back them, then you know what time it is. And this fan base and this mentality has rotted out this squad, this team. This is rotted. It is reeking. And it's time to start moving people on. When I think about where we are as a football club and where we're going, we are in neutral, going down a hill with a brick wall behind it with spikes. With this kind of mentality, when you've got a person's dad who is coming out and talking about his employer, by the way, who's cutting him a check. And I'll say what I said in our chat this morning. We've got people who had to get up this morning, go work an honest day's wage, 9 to 5, drop fries, pick up trash, clean floors, wash cars, change oil, teach classes, underpaid, firemen underpaid, policemen underpaid, and you've got a geezer sitting here making top dollar when he shouldn't have even been getting top dollar, and got a kickback on top of it. To sit up and complain about sitting behind somebody who is in his control to take the position. I have no sympathy for him. I have absolutely no sympathy for this man. I have no sympathy for his dad. And that right there shows you the mentality that is within this football club, not only with the fans, but with some of these players. They are not mentally fragile. They are not prepared to take this club to the next level.
Absolutely, facts, man. Well said. Very well said.
Can I just add to that real quick? Because I know you want to move on a bit, rather than making it the Ramsdale and his dad show, right? When he was at Bournemouth, allegedly, I don't know, I'm not his accountant. He was at Bournemouth, 3 years ago? He was apparently getting paid $5,000 a week. right? Apparently, now somebody put this in my chat, and listen, this is only what they've Googled while I was live with Rants earlier. Apparently, depending on what comments I was reading, anywhere between 22 grand and 60 grand a week at Sheffield United. Yeah, I find it hard to get 60 grand a week at Sheffield United. I'd go more down the 20 grand, but let's say it was 60 grand. He's now allegedly on 120 grand a week off of this new contract, right? Have a bit of respect. Yeah, that is life-changing money, my friend. Yeah. 3 years ago, 5 grand a week. Listen, 5 grand a week is decent though. Yeah, decent though. But it ain't life-changing. Yeah, 120 grand a week is life-changing money, right? And the fact that his old man's sitting there, yeah, on Sky Sports, with his mum, yeah, giving it, you know, we get so nervous watching him play. Yeah, they've really tried to push it, Sky Sports. Yeah, and it just goes to show, yeah, as soon as you get a few quid, yeah, you start losing sight of why you were playing the game in the first place. Yeah, because now it's poor me, poor me. Yeah, this guy has had to fight his way to get to Arsenal in the first place. And he should count his lucky stars he's even playing for our great club. Yeah, and to have the audacity, yeah, of his father to come out multiple times, by the way, yeah, multiple times, yeah, and start giving it the Bertie. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what then, mate. Why don't you go back to Bournemouth and take 5 grand a week then? Yeah, how about that? Why don't you go and do that then? Yeah, and when he's sitting there giving it, where there's no explanation as to why, they don't need to tell you nothing, mate. Don't need to tell you nothing. At the end of the day, this is an elite level football club. Yeah, do you think, yeah, Luka Modric, when he's sat on the bench for half of the season this season, when he's been one of the greatest players I've ever seen in this modern era, yeah, and he's upset with Ancelotti, and Ancelotti's asking him, being asked in press conferences, yeah, you know, Luka Modric, there's little murmurs that he's not happy. Of course he's not happy. He wants to play every week. But unfortunately, he can't play every week because I'm the manager and I'm picking the team to win the game. And if that means he's not playing, he's not playing, but he's a professional. He won't scream and shout publicly. Yeah, you've got little snippets off of other people, cool. But guess what? Me and Luka are cool. The team is cool, and he's the model professional. We ain't seen his dad come out crying, have we? Yeah, and this is a guy that has gone levels above where this guy's going. We're not talking like this goalkeeper's like Neuer, yeah, or Buffon. Yeah, come on, man. This guy's been relegated multiple times and won nothing. Yeah, have a bit of respect and a bit of shame, mate. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's really triggered me. Yeah, and the one thing I'll say before I shut up, right? One thing I'll say here, yeah, right. At the end of the day, when it's like, why did he get talked into signing a new contract? Nobody stuck a gun to your head, mate.
Bingo.
Yeah, the terms of that contract were obviously better than the previous contract. Furthermore, we have all sat here moaning and bitching about this football club ripping up and terminating contracts or selling players for peanuts. Yeah, fair play to every single person in that hierarchy that signed that geezer up to a new contract and then went, now we can make money on him. Fair play, because we need to start doing that because that's what other big clubs do. Yeah, and if he happens to be the guy that's the first of that, tough. Yeah, tough. Yeah, and guess what? When we do flog him, which I hope we do in January, we will get more than we have paid him for fee and wages. Now go and be somebody else's problem and take your dad with you.
Good, well said, man. Very well said. And I can tell you now, he can get a job tomorrow, right? At Horsham Town, because their goalkeeper is absolutely
that third goal was quality, by the way, though.
It was a good goal. It was a good goal.
He didn't even look up. He'd already spotted him off the line. First touch, immaculate, dinked him.
That's about his level, Jez.
Well, yeah, let's move on.
The amount of relegations he's had, mate.
That's about his level.
Chelsea need a goalkeeper because he's better than Sanchez, in my opinion. West Ham need a goalkeeper because he's better than Fabianski. Yeah. He'll get another job. Why is he crying? The guy's taking £6 million a year. Yeah, come on. If you've got a decent accountant, yeah, you're still walking away with 4.5 million of that. Yeah, let's be real. You weren't getting 4.5 million 3 years ago, mate. You were getting 5 grand a week. Yeah, and you were working your way and you were more hungry and determined. But now all of a sudden, somebody's knocked your nose out of joint and all of a sudden you've lost your hunger. Why? Oh, because your bank balance is healthy. Get in the bin, man. I'm sick and tired of it. And it seems to be an English problem, English player problem. Rashford, you can't criticise him. Yeah, why? Well, because he feeds kids. Well, he ain't feeding it with his own money, mate. Yeah, let's be real. He's pressured the government into doing it. Yeah, Mason Mount His dad's sitting there in the dressing room the day he signs for United. Why? Why do we care who your dad is? You know, Harry Maguire's parents and mum and family, the brother and sister, are always slagging Roy Keane and all these legends of Man United that have actually done stuff. Yeah, this guy's won 1 trophy his entire career. He's been relegated more times than he's had trophies. It always seems to be an English thing. And the reason for that is because Sky Sports love drama. And Sky Sports are massive, massive, massive issue within our English game. Yeah, because they dramatise everything. Like I've said, every time Raya makes a great save, straight to Ramsdale on the bench. Why? Yeah, why? Go to camera 12, Ramsdale. Boom, go. Yeah, and then as soon as he makes a mistake, the goalkeeper, bang, straight to Ramsdale. Like, get in the bin. I'm sick and tired of it. At the end of the day, I want the best players, yeah, to play at my football club. And unfortunately, he's got us up to a level. That level was being part of a team, yeah, that hold the record for being at the top of the Premier League for the most amount of time without ever winning it. Cheers, mate. Thanks for the memories. He's also part of the team, yeah, that was currently 4th, yeah, 4th, 4 points clear of Tottenham with 3 to play and finished 5th. Well done, mate. Yeah. Now add that to your CV with your 2 or 3 relegations. Go and take
Hey, guys, sorry about this, right? But I'm on Sky Sports in the background, and they're showing it right now. The podcast, they're showing it.
Of course they are.
They're going
to
milk this, man. That is high drama.
But this is what they wanted. Yeah, let's be real with this. I don't know the bird. I don't know her, Kelly. Yeah, but she's mad connected within the media circle. Yeah, Sky Sports put the link for a channel in the website today. Yeah, Fabrizio only tagged the page. He didn't tag the channel. Yeah, right. But he's got 19 million. Everyone loves a drama. Yeah, Sky Sports are now playing the clips and all of this. It's all. Why do we need this circus around our football club? Yeah, have a bit of shame and have a bit of respect from where you have come from and that you have nicked a living. Yeah, 120 grand a week. I'm sorry, mate. Like Matty said at the very start, yeah, there's people that are underpaid out there doing jobs a lot harder than you that ain't bitching, mate, and they can't live or feed their kids. Yeah, and they're struggling to pay their rent, and you're crying because another goalkeeper's coming and took your spot. Work harder.
Hey, guys, they got Paul Robinson, ex-Tottenham, ex-Leeds, back speaking up and said it's harsh. Just, you're right. Just leave it alone. Just accept the decision, move on.
I'll put it this way: out of all the drama and all of the promotion and everything that's gone on with all of this drama and promotion everywhere, my show with Rance is going to have more views than that podcast. Get in the bin.
There's more people out there that think they're entitled.
Facts.
That is the problem. It's entitlement, and I've got no time with that whatsoever. You work for what you get.
Yep.
Lee, you've worked your nuts off to get your channel to where it is. You worked your nuts off when you were a double glazing salesman. Kenny, you've worked your nuts off to get where you are, right? Matty, you know your career. You've worked your nuts off. I did in mine. At the end of the day, you didn't have our parents coming online crying because we weren't doing well. Anyway, let's move on. I'm getting the ump with that now. I want to talk very briefly. I think it's a big. We'll talk about it. Upcoming games. Liverpool took Brentford apart 3-0 at the weekend. Yeah. Brentford looked absolutely crap, to be fair. And our next, our next away game is Brighton away, 25th of November. And I'm going to start with you, Kenny, on this one. You'll be there. I've never been to Brentford. I've never been there, ever.
One thing about Brentford, right? It's in the middle of, it's in Hounslow. The Wi-Fi is shocking. It's shocking in the area of, Kew Bridge. It's absolutely shocking. But the ground is really, really nice. And, the stewards, a lot of stewards are Gooners as well. And the people, the fans, is fantastic. But insane with Brentford is that they miss Raya. They miss Raya to a certain extent because he starts some moves, but they definitely miss Ivan Toney. But it's going to be a very, very competitive game because you don't know what Brentford will turn up. Chelsea smashed into pieces in the London derby. A week later, they play Brentford, and Brentford a couple of weeks later, Brentford clean them up. Sorry, a week later, Brentford clean them out because Brentford just want, you know what? We know Chelsea have got, that midfield. We know they've got a lot of pace. No Colin Gallagher's, going to, is going to sort of try and run the show. If we stay disciplined, then we'll see. We're doing a set piece and doing a break. I thought Brentford's performance was very professional, and when we played Brentford in the league game last year when he won 3-0, it wasn't an easy 3-0. We just had more pace. That was a hard game. And the Emirates, they destroyed us. They ruined us. Don't buy into this, the referee forgot to draw the lines. Ivan Toney's goal should have been offside. VAR doing this. Fair enough. But that game, Brentford a better team. I was there. I'm not going to lie to you and rewrite history because I'm having a go at Arteta and the team. With our best team out there, Brentford ruined us. Ivan Toney was the best player on the pitch by a million miles, better than our lot. So he's not playing. But Mbomo is not as good as Toney, not as clinical, but he is their main man. They've got a lot of pace. That's going to be a really hard game. Let's not forget, we've got a midfield, a blunted midfield. We've got no Jesus for the movement, so we're going to rely very heavily on Trossard, and we're going to rely on that midfield. And, Jesus and Saliba are going to have really good games because on set pieces, Brentford are fantastic. They defend the Pinnock. He's a very massive changer on set pieces. Plus, they got Wizard, they got Burma, they got some really, really good players that. Plus, they got that tight ground. It's not going to be easy. It's probably going to be, if we're not at it, we can get turned over. That could go either way. The way we're playing, it goes either way. Last season, you'll put your money on us winning, and this season, you'll probably go a three-way bet. You'll probably bet on all three results because it's not going to be easy, especially with our midfield. If Partey, Odegaard, and Rice was playing, and Jesus was playing. I'll be telling all you guys to relax, get your takeaway in celebrations afterwards and put your feet up because you're going to see a feast of football. We're going to win comfortably, but not with that, that midfield I was talking about, and not without Jesus. It's going to be a struggle. Odegaard as well.
Yeah,
he's come back.
Worry.
But he's come back from injury. But, we don't know if he's going to be rushed or not. And does he play Kai Havertz in that game?
He will. You know that. I was going to say, E. Ross, new subscriber, big up, gentlemen. Thank you, man, for that. Thank you for your sub. Lee, we're just saying, Liverpool took Brentford apart at 3-0. That's our next away game, 25th of November. It's not going to be an easy run out in my book. I mean, I say I've never been to Brentford's ground in my life, but they're not a decent out. They're a pretty decent outfit. And well, look, they beat us 2-0 the first time they joined the Premier League. So we've got to be careful.
Who was in goal that day, Jez?
Sorry,
who was in goal that day? Does anyone know who was in goal?
Leno was in goal.
Was it Ramsdale?
Yeah, Ramsdale.
No. Ramsdale played against.
Yeah,
it was Leno.
Yeah, Ramsdale played against West Bromwich Albion, and then you got the man.
Yeah, it was Leno.
Yeah, Leno played the first three games and got dropped afterwards.
The first three and then got dropped. Oh, funny that. Yeah. Got dropped after. I didn't see it. Okay, anyway, let's move on. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but I watched them against Liverpool, and they are literally hoof it to Wissa and Mbeumo and hope for the best. Yeah, without Ivan Toney in that team, they look devoid of any ideas, man, honestly. Defensively, okay, cool, they can get stuck in. Pinnock's not a bad centre-back. But, I mean, if we can't dispatch of them, comfortably, then what are we really looking at here? Real talk. Yeah, Vieira's going to be suspended. Obviously, Partey's out, apparently injured. I don't buy that either. 29 will be walking around like he normally does, eating his gummy bears and his Skittles, looking for his dog, sheeping the referee. Funny, because last time we played Brentford, he hid behind the ref 5 times in that game, didn't he? So, yeah, it's not going to be easy. I don't know what's going on with Odegaard. I don't know where he is. Like maybe he's still on Halloween duty. Maybe it's Halloween at different times in different parts of the world. I don't know. Maybe he's got some more chores to do. I don't know. But yeah, we need to see what happens after this international break, because apparently Jesus has gone on international duty. Not quite sure why, but apparently he's gone on international duty. I've seen, and this seems to be a new trend as well, because Jude Bellingham turned up to the England camp and has been sent home. Like, well, yeah, well, we knew that for 2 weeks. Because he ain't played for Madrid for 2 weeks. So it's like, why is this new trend? Like, we'll send you on international duty and then we'll send you back after the document. Well, no, hold up. Are you paying them? Yeah, because I'm quite sure the clubs are paying them. Yeah, you might get a little fee and a little cap and all of that. Yeah, but come on, man. So we need to see who comes back from international duty. Obviously, Declan Rice has been our best midfielder this season. I mean, it ain't been difficult. He's been brilliant, but it ain't been difficult. Let's be real. Yeah, because the bar is on the floor. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We've got to win that game if we want to stay in touch. I don't know who Man City's game is, but yeah. Again, like I said, is Saliba on international break? I think he's gone with France, and I think Gabriel Magalhaes has gone with Brazil as well. So we got to hope and pray that neither of them two get injured, because the drop off from them two is crazy. Yeah, we're going back to Kivior and who? Well, Ben White, but even he's injured. So I don't know, man. We're going to have to wait until international break. But if we're looking just straight on the last couple of games or the performance this season, we should be beating them comfortably, mate. Even if we're not playing amazing football, they're not very good without Ivan Toney. Everything goes through Ivan Toney. He's the link man. Yeah, he holds the ball up on his chest. He can whip it round to Wissa and to Mbeumo. And Mbeumo misses sitter after sitter. Wissa likewise. I mean, some of the balls they were shanking out over the cop. I mean, they were probably ending up down at Goodison Park. Do you know what I'm saying? It was embarrassing at times. And defensively, they'll get stuck in. Like I said, they've got some all right defenders. They're going to rough you up a little bit. They're going to leave their elbows in, but we should be turning them over comfortably. Liverpool weren't even out of second gear and beat them 3-0. Yeah, and if we're allegedly in a title race, we should be doing likewise.
I predicted a 6-0 against the Burnley. We got Matty. I want to get you on this one, mate. Liverpool 3, Brentford 0. Basically, Brentford look absolutely terrible. We've got them first game back, 25th of November. To me, being a stupid Arsenal fan, to me that's a 4-0 Arsenal. That's my heart saying that, because I'm thinking we should take this team apart. Will we, Matty? Will we, or will it be just another drivelly show where we turn up and being it's an away game and we just make an embarrassment display? And after that, I want to come straight back to you, Matty, on this one. Another question about Brentford, but give me your view, man. Of how do you think that 25th of November is going to go?
We have a horrible record coming back from international break. We have a horrible, horrible record under this manager coming back from international break. It's usually when we play our worst football. When we played Brentford earlier this year, Lee, you remember that? We did a watch along on that. We scraped by in that game. If they had a striker, if Tony was playing, we'd probably lose that game 3-1, 3, whatever. We got blown away. On paper, Jez, on paper, we should win this game minimum 2-0. On paper. But we all know how Arsenal roll. we all know. If it looks like it's possible, we'll make it impossible. And I hate these international breaks because they kill whatever momentum we have. Whatever momentum we have gets cut right off, and we have to start all the way back over. I think we'll win, but I won't be surprised if we make a complete meal of it when we get back from the break. And that's barring nobody gets injured, because our injury record is not the best either on these international breaks, and this is an extended international break. So hopefully everybody comes back healthy. But if everybody comes back healthy and they can pick up where they left off, that'd be great. But I just think that we have a really bad tendency to come back from these breaks and struggle when we get back.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. I've heard recently. I don't know how true this is. If any of you people in the chat, or Lee, Kenny, Matty, you know any facts about this? I've heard that Tony can't be sold in January. Is anybody got any info on this? Is
No,
there?
he can. He's not allowed to kick a ball until the 17th.
Yeah, but I've heard that he can't be sold until
January, of January, 17th of January.
Yeah, after the 17th of January, I'm sure he can be sold, no?
Well, I don't know. I've just something I've seen out there. It's pretty bullshit, in fairly respect. But I just wanted to see if any of you guys actually heard anything more concrete. That's only what I've heard.
No, I'm sure he could, after the 17th of January, he's back in action, mate. So they can sell
I
it.
thought so, personally. I mean, I'm not going. I just wondered. Man. Anyway, let's move it on. So, Lee, after Brentford away, we've got Lons at home, and then we've got Wolves at home, 2nd December, right? And then we got Liverpool away, 23rd of December. I mean, let's be honest. I'm confident we're going to do Lons at home. Confident about that. Wolves at home, not sure. There can be a naughty lot. Liverpool away, we've got to be really on our guns that day, Lee. Especially if we lose on the 23rd, that is going to really fuck my Christmas up. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big Christmas lover. I won't deny it. I'm big into it. But, mate, Lons, I think would be all right. What about Wolves and Liverpool, man?
Liverpool's always a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is always a problem. We see 2-0 up last year. Again, I was on the watch along, 2-0 up. I think he was in the comments. I can't remember whether Matty was on with me. Yeah, but 2-0 up. As soon as we scored that second goal, I said, get 35 off the pitch straight away.
Yeah.
I said, get Tierney straight on.
You got skint.
Absolutely skinned. Yeah, nutmegged, 2-2. And then as soon as that happens, we hooked him. Yeah. I don't know whether we're going to have the big speakers in the London Colney setup again. Never walk alone, blaring around. Win running around barking because she's never heard so much noise. I don't know. Yeah, but that's a hard game, and especially right on top of Christmas, because them Christmas fixtures always throw up a dodgy result here and there, man. Like Boxing Day, obviously our game's been cancelled. It's now the 28th. But them Christmas fixtures, it's cold, it's dank, it's dark, it's wet, it's frosty. We're going to see what we're made of. And listen, Liverpool ain't the Liverpool they were last season either, by the way. They're better this season. Yeah, so now we've got to level up. The games before that, Lons, like, if we beat them, we qualify. If we draw with them, we qualify. Yeah, I don't want our players or fans to be going into that game going, we only need a draw. Because if we're going with that mentality, we're losing. Yeah, and let's be real. This team finished 1 point off at the top last season. Yeah, and I think I'm just looking now. I think they're mid-table. Let me have a look. They are currently 6th. They were bottom when we played them last time, I think, or right down the bottom. But they're currently 6th. Yeah, 4 points off of 4th. Yeah, so they've got themselves back up there, but they're not that great. Let's be real. We should be beating Lons. Yeah, we should be beating Lons. We should be beating Wolves. We should be beating Luton Town. We should be beating Aston Villa away. We were the last team to beat Aston Villa away in the league. We should be beating PSV away. Yeah, we should be beating Brighton at home, albeit we got spanked 3-0 last season. But this lot, again, down tools because they knew the title had gone. Yeah, Liverpool away, then West Ham, and then Fulham. We've got a big December, man. Right, I know the Lons and the Wolves. The Lons game is the last of November, yeah. But Wolves, Luton, Villa, PSV, Brighton, Liverpool, West Ham, and Fulham all in December. Yeah, that's a big month, mate. That is a big month, and I'll tell you something, yeah. If we can get through that there or thereabouts within a couple of points from whoever's top, and if we're not top, then this football club better go and make a statement. I don't want to hear all of this crap that they're peddling out on the media. Oh, but we're managing FFP and we've not got much money. Shut up, man. We turn over 600 million a year. Yeah? Yeah, maybe when we get rid of the goalkeeper whose dad's moaning, yeah, we'll have about 40 million quid back in. Maybe we can spend that on someone. Yeah, maybe that can go towards Ivan Toney. Put Eddie and 40 million on the table and that's job done. Yeah, straight away we're instantly better going forward. Yeah, now go and get a midfielder. Yeah, because the one we spent 65 million quid on ain't any good. Yeah, the one we spent 35 million quid on who got sent off the other day ain't any good. Yeah, the one that's wearing the armband, yeah, that used to be at Chelsea, he ain't all that, is he? Let's be real. Yeah, El Neni, why are you here, mate? Like, no, I've got no animosity with him. He keeps it simple, but he's not good enough. Yeah, he's never mugged the club off. He just does what he does, keeps it simple, but you ain't good enough, mate. Yeah, and when you look at our midfield and actually really deep our midfield, that is a serious issue, mate. Yeah, that is a serious issue because as soon as Declan Rice gets injured, we're finished.
Can I throw something in there?
We are finished.
Okay, go, man. Go.
Has anybody, and Tony brought this up, Tony Gunner brought this up to me, and it completely went past me. Do you realize that Tomiyasu is going to be gone as well?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
going out to the Asian.
Yeah, the Asia Cup.
I mean, Lee, we are once again we are naked again. This is it's a recurring thing over and over. Remember, I told you, Lee. I said if one person get hurt and they come back and another person get hurt, we back at the panic stations. If a person leave and they get hurt, then guess what? We back at the panic. We are back at the panic stations again because Tomiyasu. Let's just be frank, people. Tomiyasu has been a rock this season for this team because he's been healthy. And having him out the squad, and now you're putting Bart Simpson back at left back, putting him in a position, putting him there, and we already know what's coming there in these fixtures coming up. Well, on the other side of the calendar year, and then we're back at it again. Now, what are we going to be doing about getting that position sorted out? Thomas Partey getting sorted out. It just seems like every year it's the same old, man.
Wait, but we fixed the squad. It was not 8 out of 10 window. Look at like people say about injuries and all that. That's cool. Everyone's got injuries. Man City have got Kevin De Bruyne out, one of the best players in the league. Yeah, they're still top of the league. Yeah, they ain't been great. Yeah, they got rid of Mahrez. They got rid of Cancelo. They got rid of Gundogan. They got rid of Laporte. Yeah, and they've got their best player out injured. They're still top of the league. Yeah, and when you actually look at their squad, they have 2 goalkeepers on the bench every week. They have 2 youth team players on the bench every week, and they have a couple of defenders, yeah, and Jack Grealish. And that's about it. Everyone talks about their squad like it's some amazing, all singing, all dancing squad. It's not. Yeah, when you look at our squad, Smith Rowe's always injured. Partey's always injured. Yeah. Vieira's now suspended for what? Is it 3 games?
3 straight.
3 games. Yeah, 3 games. Yeah, it was a straight. It was a straight. 3 games. Yeah. Odegaard's injured. We don't know how long for. Jesus is injured. Yeah, Ben White, I'd imagine he'd be back. He won't go on international break anyway.
Martinelli.
Yeah, like he in and out the team here and there. He gets little knocks here and there. He's going to go off to Brazil. Hopefully he comes back fine. But as soon as we get, and Saka always drops down and limps off at an end of a game, and then we hope and pray. And it's like the amount of money we have spent. Yeah, we should be looking at that instead of having 20 odd players without maybe more than 3 or 4 that are great or decent or the potential to be great. We should have pretty much the whole 11 proper, yeah, and then 3 or 4 on the bench that are on the periphery. Yeah, that's what City have got. Like, let me put it to you like this real quick, because I know I'm waffling, yeah? If Jack Grealish don't start for Man City, do you think their fans are crying? They've got Doku starting, and that guy's just landed.
Yeah.
He's just got in the league. But if Doku don't start, they're going, it's all right, we've got Grealish, mate. Yeah, if Foden ain't playing, they go, that's all right, we'll put Bernardo out there. Do you think they're crying they got rid of Mahrez? No. But if we go Saka and Martinelli ain't playing, oh my days, panic stations. And that is a mismanagement of money for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trossard, cool. I've got no issue with that guy. I love that geezer. Yeah, but if Jesus is out, oh my days, what do we do now? Yeah, God forbid Declan Rice gets injured, because then we're buried.
Or Saliba.
Yeah.
This is the point I was going to bring up. Kenny, I mean, you're going to be those home games.
Yeah, definitely.
They're very, very important games. Look, we know it from history. We know, don't we? From the Wenger days up to modern time. Arsenal are usually pretty crap after Christmas. I don't know why. Have they eaten too much turkey, too many Brussels sprouts?
No,
I
it's
don't.
before that, Jess. It's before that. Jess, it's before that. We always have. No, after bonfire night. No, but after bonfire night under our scent, that's when when Arsenal do go through their bad patch. Because it was always November to like middle of December, then we kind of improved, and that kind of cost us in 98, 99. But when you talk about Lons, it's a case of, is it going to be repeat or revenge? Because remember, we're in a okayish position before we played Dynamo Kiev about, was it 25 years ago. We lost to them. And then the Lons game became more important, but we still had enough to, no pork chops, lamb chops. But the Lons game was a 50-50 game. It's now a case where we only need a point, but Lons, I think they neck and neck with PSV in terms of a point. So Lons are going to have to win the game, potentially, because Lons' last game is going to be against Sevilla. And PSV got us. So
Sevilla away as well, I think.
Sevilla away. So it's one of those things where Lons are probably thinking, you know what? They're going to come to win. So we're going to come win. So that's going to be a very exciting game. You know, we don't, to be honest, all the teams we played in the Champions League at home, that we played them at the park. Played Seville at the park. We absolutely ruined PSV. So hopefully it'll be revenge, not repeat. But, you know, after that, Wolves. Thing about Wolves is that they play good football, but their finishing is terrible. They haven't really got a striker. But if you don't have a strong midfield against them, they'll create shot. They'll get into good positions. So it's not going to be easy. But Lee's right. We should be beating them. Then afterwards, Luton. I'm sorry. Luton will try their best and try us. We're not losing to Luton. I'm sorry. I won't accept a loss against Luton. Aston Villa. I'm sorry to say, it's going to be double odds. Yeah, we got better players when we have our full team, but we're still going to have a few players going to be out. If he plays Sinchenko against Aston Villa, we're getting buried, beaten to this pole. It's not. So his team sheet's going to, have to be spot on. And afterwards, got PSV in the away game. Hopefully, we qualify with them. And Brighton. The good thing about Brighton this year for us is that Brighton are struggling with playing Europa League. Because it has eaten into their league form. I mean, they play Europa League Thursday. Team like Fulham, no disrespect to Fulham, they should be turning over. They struggled a bit. Remember, West Ham went there and turned them over. Liverpool should have beaten them. And, they had a good result with Man United. But they're not the same, fresh side they were before. So there's an opportunity. And we own one anyway. And then West Ham, Liverpool, even with our best sides, we'll be lucky to get a point. Because they're just relentless. For every 2 goals we'll score at Anfield, they'll look to get and probably will get 4. That's the situation. We could play well as we can, but not still come away with no better than a point. That's how hard that game's going to be. West Ham.
We know it is. When we nearly did it last year, cocked it up.
West Ham.
West Ham. 28th, Kenny.
Yeah, well, that's going to be on Boxing Day because last year a lot of people complained about it being on a Boxing Day at 8 o'clock, but now it's at 8 o'clock on a Thursday. So, it's a case.
Good old Arsenal fans moaning and getting games changed and then moaning again.
And that's the situation. Don't get me wrong. If there's no trains on Boxing Day anyway, so my views on it. I'm against Christmas football on the basis of travel. And the ability for fans to get the games, until that we go back to what we had before, where Arsenal playing Tottenham on Boxing Day and Easter Monday, or Easter Saturday, however you want to do it, then you won't. Then I'll probably mellow. But until that's happening, I'm not mellowing because it's ridiculous to have those games. But West Ham, if West Ham go a goal down, then you can pencil this in for a heavy win, a huge win because. The white flag would go out, and I just think, you know what? Let's sort ourselves out for New Year's Eve or the next home game. So that should be a win. That should be a comfortable game. Fulham, they're inconsistent. Chelsea have gone there and turned them over. A very, very poor Man United team won there. I expect us to win there comfortably if we play to the best of our ability and play with a very high tempo. But the games I will worry about is not so much Brentford, Aston Villa with that home record, the way they're playing, the crowds. If any, I think that if we're not on it, or we pick the wrong team, we can get turned over. Liverpool, I expect us to get turned over. Just being honest.
No. Lee, I want to ask you this question, man. Good question from the Ghanaian Gooner. Can we answer this question tonight? And I'd like to answer myself. What exactly is 29's role in midfield? I mean, I'd like to know. Personally, I mean, somebody tell me.
I prefer not to speak.
Yeah.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble because I don't see anything, mate. Yeah, I keep getting told, what does he do? It's off the ball. It's off the ball. Yeah, so you watch him off the ball and he literally hides. He picks up pockets, in between two players, right? Literally in between two players, 5 yards either side of him, facing our own goal, taking the ball from the centre-back. And you're like, if he takes every touch, they're in. So you can't pass him the ball, so we have to go sideways. We have to go down the wing. Yeah, then when he jogs around, he'll jog away from the ball. Yeah, then he'll just jog around in a circle and sheep the ref. I don't get it, mate. Yeah, and I'll tell you something, it's probably a miracle that we're currently 1 point off the top with him playing 19 games in all comps this season, mate.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Kenny, mate, same question to you. What is his role? What does he do? What does he bring to the party? I mean, I'm sorry, man. He's one shit show. He
don't bring very much. He don't bring very much because I'm sure we've tried him in quite a lot of positions. I had a feeling that he'll be quite useful in the Odegaard position because Odegaard hasn't played games, so I thought that he could be playing that position, maybe a number 8. But so far with Kai Havertz, he seems to be useful-ish in a more advanced role in midfield. Nah, doesn't do it for me. You know what? I was even thinking, can he do the Dele Alli role? No, he can't. Because Dele Alli, makes runs from deep, goes past the forwards, and becomes a goal threat. He doesn't even do that. So that kind of midfield, he's not the kind of Odegaard midfielder. He's going to work in the pockets around the front three and get closer to Saka. Although he was playing down the right, but that was in a more advanced row. Apart from that, I don't know what he brings to the table because, again, I don't know what Kai's good at. And that's not being ignorant. I just don't know. And this is someone who loves football, loves watching every other game as well as Arsenal. I don't know. I can't see where good games come from. And as a midfielder, if you want to see good games from him, then you have to pray that, if Trossard, gets a knock, we try him as a false number 9 and try him there. But even then, I'm pessimistic. But as a midfielder, brings nothing to the table because simple reason is that everything you need from a midfielder, so far, he hasn't shown us. He hasn't shown us it. And I'm talking from an attacking point of view because defensively, it's not difficult to press players. The only difficult thing about pressing is to be able to be concentrated and doing it for 90 minutes. But initially, those first half an hour, it's easy because you're doing it as a pack. You're only marking one player. Your other mates are marking the other 9 players on the pitch, on the outfield players. So that's not a difficult job he's doing. Doing things off the ball, working off the ball. Well, that's his job. We're not playing walking football. It's running football. But in terms of from a creative point of view, to answer the guy's question, nothing. There is nothing he gives us in midfield that all 4 of us are going to cry about. There's nothing to talk about.
No, not at all. Matty, your view on this absolute fraudulent liar. I call him Liar Havertz because he clearly lied that he can't play football. I'm sure at my tender age of 62, I could probably do better. And I was shit at football. That's why I became a referee. Matty, give me your opinion, man. This guy.
He's as I stated many times, he's the worst football I've ever seen, and that's on any level, all the way down to kids. He's the worst I've ever seen, and I've seen quite a bit of bad football in my life. This gentleman, if Arteta is going to play this gentleman, they just put him up top and just let him run around and just stay up there. Don't come back. Don't get in the midfield. Just stay up there and just do what you do. Just run from side to side, left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left, and just do that the entire game. You know, just check your stats on your little watch to make sure you see how many steps you got for the day and all that kind of good stuff. And, you know, get your Google Fit badge or whatever and just call it a day, man. This guy here, man, he needs to be moved on. He is a hindrance. I told Lee this the other day in our back chat. Him on the field has killed what little bit of offense we had from last season. It has flat out killed our attack because he's being forced in. I mean, him and what's his number? 20. I didn't catch the numbers. 20.
20, the captain. Captain.
Yeah. The Captain Blue. He you know, that both of those two there, man. They just continuously kill what we have going for. And I just, you know, for $65 million, that will be to that young man, that will be the nail in the coffin for this manager. That will be the nail, because this gentleman here, man, he doesn't offer anything. They told us 50 games. They want us to 50 games for him to get embedded into this team. We're at 19 now. And all I've seen is a pity penalty kick and those shocking misheaders this past weekend. And I'm supposed to take another 40 or 35 or so games from this man to prove to me that he can play football when I have a working ledger of failure to work with. Nah, this guy here, he is not it. It never will be. He may do well over in the Turkish league. He might do well over, you know, the Segunda B, you know, the French league too. He might do fair well or whatever. For Arsenal Football Club and the standards of what we're trying to get to. Nah, I'm sorry. He is, you know, not there. Nope.
No, totally agree, man. Good question here. Dinesh King of the GOAT of cricket. Fair play, mate. You're into cricket, then.
Kenny's smile there. Look at Kenny's smile as soon as he heard the word cricket.
I was looking at him to see what he was going to react.
Cricket.
Evening. What do you think about Liverpool versus City 12:30 on Saturday? Why can they not play this late in the evening?
I'll tell you exactly why.
Go on.
Because I've seen all the Scousers up in arms again, crying. Yeah, crying. I'm not going to use the term because people would like to put it to a disaster once I use a certain word. It's nothing to do with that, so I'm not going to use that word. But this lot love to cry more than Arsenal, right? The fact and reality is, yeah, blame the police. Yeah, because it's the police that put that game to 12:30. And the reason the police have put that game to 12:30 is because the amount of times Liverpool smashed up Man City's coach after being pissed up all day.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all it comes back to. Yeah, maybe stop smashing up Man City's coach when they arrive for a late kickoff. Yeah, and you won't keep getting the early kickoff. Blame the police in Liverpool, innit?
Well, I was just going to say, I totally agree with you. A slightly different perspective is because purely and simply, the pubs won't be open at that time. People might be drinking tinnies and stuff, but the pubs won't be open, so there won't be so much drinking going on, and to avert the problems, violence. It used to happen back. I mean, I've been talking about it on my shows recently, how it's been going on. I'm doing another one Thursday night. We'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, guys, great show. Great show. Thank you very much for coming on. Matty,
Loved it. Enjoyed ourselves.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was good. It's good to chat, all four of us, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get in. Well, I know. I'll very quickly, Kenny. I'll throw this one at you. I'm not into this international break bullshit personally myself.
I can't sell this one to you. But
no, you
what
can't.
I can say,
mate, I tried. I did a watch along England Ukraine, and I just thought, what am I doing myself? this is 90 minutes of my life. I'm never going to get back. And it was so crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
but
might have
you know what he says?
watched flies on the wall or something. I don't know. But I'm going to throw this one to you, mate. Go on.
Jez,
Go on.
I'll say the thing about it, right, is that the Premiership has done an excellent job in, like I said, making every other competition virtually irrelevant. They've made the FA Cup irrelevant. They've made the League Cup unwatchable, and they've basically screwed up international football because the simple reason is that, you know, we are seeing the best players in the world, but the thing about it is that in a day, players are loyal to their countries. The associations around the world have to make money, especially since, you know, the pandemic. You know, look, let's not forget a lot of countries played in front of empty stadiums, and they only had to rely on TV money. And you know what TV are like? They like a crowd shot, so they're gonna reduce the money. So now that we've got major stadiums back, we are going to see a lot of international tournaments. We're going to see an extension of the League of Nations. But let's not forget, with the Euros like going to be upon us in June next year, and we know England are qualified, but it's still other teams who've still got a chance of qualifying. Remember, not all our players are English. You've still got Italians, you know, Jorginho. You know, Italy's still got an outside chance of getting into the Euros. Brazil lost to Uruguay, got a massive game in Argentina. You can't really begrudge any of the Brazilian players playing that major derby against Argentina. And then, you know, it's one of the things where, to all intents and purposes, our players could do with a break. You know what I mean? It does help, you know, get some rest. But, you know, we could always go back to the old days where under, was it before the Premiership, where it was a case where England used to only have one international a month, and then in terms of qualifiers, and then what will happen is the Premiership will finish on a Saturday or Sunday. Then on a Wednesday, England will play, and then they'll be back on a Saturday playing. But with the fact that, you know, associations want to make more money, they got to have 2 games a week. And, you know, friendlies make England so much money. That's why I can understand you getting the ump as well. Even if England don't have, you know, qualifiers, you know, when England, you know, like have a friendly abroad or have friendlies at Wembley, everyone want to make money out of it. It's a money maker. So, you know, it's, as long as international football's it's still a money maker, you're going to see a lot of disruption for your Premiership.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, man, it didn't used to happen. It pisses me right off. Anyway,
you're a 70s and 80s boy, mate. You're a 70s and 80s, and you know, every game of football was, like I said, important because we didn't have much TV exposure. So
no, we didn't.
League Cup was important, the FA Cup was important, international football was important. Most football we got was highlights. You only got live games in the FA Cup final.
Okay.
And live games were only shown in '83. So we got so much football. That's why you're bored of it.
Well, it just pisses me off. But anyway, we'll leave it there before I get the ump. Mammoth Flossie says 242 in the house, only 150 watching. Come on, people. I've got the best panel here that you can get. Come on, Lee Gunner, Kenny Ken, Matty. I mean, come on, people, smash it up. And if you're like new, please sub. It does help the channel and everything. But we're going to go. Lee, mate, thank you for coming on, as always. You're
Appreciate
a very
man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for giving me your time, and it's always a blessing, mate. Shout yourself out. We know where you are. You're the biggest out there, and I don't give a shit what any people say. You do talk the real talk, no bullshit. It is the facts that come out, and people eventually listen, man. They listen.
They catch up eventually, Jez. Thanks for having me on, man. Listen, all 4 of us together is a madness. Big up to you, man. Big up to all 3 of you. Big up to the chat. And yeah, I've just put a video out about an hour before I come on here, talking about the Ramsdale situation. And believe it or not, it's only 2,000 views off of the actual Ramsdale interview.
Wow.
So there we go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
after all that promotion from every media outlet, Sky Sports, Fabrizio, their Daily Mail, and all the other big, like media corporations, this tiny little YouTuber, is sat currently on 2,000 views less than the actual interview. Mad that, isn't it? But there we go. So go and check that out on the Lee Gunner channel. I've also posted a video about Gareth Southgate and his compulsive lying and the state of the England squad and whether we can win a tournament with that guy in charge, who should be coming in after him, should we sack him, etc., etc. That's on Lee Reacts. Let's go and check that out. I also did a stream with Rants earlier. Always funny, man. Always funny. Yeah, always funny, man. So check that out. And yeah, man, thanks for having me on. Big up to Matty. Big up to Jed.
Terence Fleurs?
Yeah, I did a show with Terry as well. There was no heated debate today. Yeah, I'm not in the mud. I ain't got an illness.
You're not scared?
No, Terence is now concentrating Spurs this season because he's gone.
Well, they're not quite scary enough for him yet. He said. Like, I asked him, "Are Spurs scary?" I ain't seen the scary Spurs. He said, "No, they don't."
No, there was an interesting debate.
Spurs as well, which is funny.
Yeah, there was an interesting debate with Spurs fans where you got a woman who couldn't be more Spurs being told by some upstart who's suggesting she can go and go support Arsenal. I looked at the guy and went, "Mate, that woman's forgotten more about Tottenham than you have, mate."
She was probably alive when they won the league.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things where we have the same sort of fans all over the place. Spurs fans say go and support Arsenal. Arsenal fans say go and support Spurs.
It's because they get emotionally invested and attached to a paid employee that is disposable rather than the good and great of the football club, which is what we do. We're the good and great of the football club. And if that means hard, tough decisions have to happen, we might not always agree on them. But if it helps the football club going forward and we believe that, then we're going to back it. Yeah, and I suppose they do on the other side, hence the Ramsdale thing. But for me, and for all four of us, that ain't the good and great of the club. And it also goes against everything that these people have said to us for 4 years. So it is what it is. But thanks for having me on. Big up the chat as well, man. Big up to everyone inside. Thanks for having me, Jez.
No, man, you're always welcome, bro. You know that. Before I come to Kenny, actually, I meant to say this earlier, right? This is a classic comment. Classic, right? Left in my chat today. This one fella. I found this so funny, right? This is the comment. I quote: Julian and Robbie in the modern day wouldn't let the herd let it get out of hand.
Who said that? Who said that?
It was some numpty in my comments. You can go and have a look. It's on. I'm like, and he put another one in. Don, Robbie, and Julian are the something like the words I can't remember, but the true ones. I'm like, what fucking kind of clown are you?
Take a drink of that.
It was. I'll tell you where I'll tell you where the comments are. It's on the one I did about the herd and the Gooners. Right?
What?
Right? I'll tell you now.
They're just trying to wind you up, man.
And you say leak thick.
They're just trying to wind you up so you reply.
It's just, you know what it is, right? Where it is that.
Hey, sure. Jesus Christ.
They're trying to wind you up, but you know the thing about it is that there's still people out there who, you have this saying, don't confuse your paycheck with your talent. Well, I say to people like when they talk about the fan cams, don't confuse their 1.5 million subscribers with being head of the fan base. They're not. Yeah, but unintelligent people always think if you've got the most views, you're the biggest fan in the club, that you speak for the club and you're the head of the fan base. And if more people agree with you, you're always right. And that's the thing. People don't actually listen to what people are saying or listen to the good content. All they do is just, they're lazy. I call them just lazy people. But in terms of what they're saying about those two, yeah, it's a wind up, mate. I know both of them. I know, I've got to know Julian. Julian just wants to go and watch his football and enjoy his life, mate. and live life in the fast lane, mate. His way. Yeah, he has no time for all that. Any of that, and that's for Lyle. Bloody hell, Lyle's just a businessman, mate.
Before we wrap this up, man, please shout out where we can find you, my friend.
You can find me on one place and one place only, apart from with you three, on Instagram, where I'm causing all sorts of like controversy. Any headline I find, I'm using it as content to take the mickey and just, get people talking and be thought-provoking. I think that's what Arsenal debate should be about, thought-provocation. Shouldn't be about accepting what everyone says, accepting what the majority says. Use this. You got a brain. You got talent in your brain. Question things. Ask questions. Give your opinion. And if you're going to give your opinion, put some meat on the bones.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That is it. If you've got a brain, bloody use it. Because at the end of the day, don't get led like a bloody sheep. And then I'll leave that there because I'll get, me, I'll get wound up about it. But shut my mouth. Matt, thank you, mate, for coming on. The Southern Gooner. Everybody, please go and support the Southern Gooner show. Brilliant stuff. Matty, the stuff you talk about, I watched you earlier with Tony Claude. Who was the other guy? I don't know who.
Abs, football bench.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool, man. Matty, please shout yourself out, bro.
Yep, Jez, always great to be here, man. And it's extra special when you got Lee and Kenny in the building as well, man. This was the highlight of my day today. I was excited. I was on early with the brother Tony Clark Gunner. We was talking that talk as well, and I'm actually chilling, man. I'm on this international break too. I'm just relaxing and chilling and getting ready for this turkey and dressing next week here in the States, and enjoy time off. And you can find me here on YouTube, Southern Gooner. And that's pretty much about it, man. I'm glad to see you all once again. If everybody in the chat, make sure y'all hit that like button on your way out the door and subscribe to all of these gentlemen and go follow Kenny on Instagram because he won't come on YouTube.
We've been trying.
I've been trying.
You know what? You guys, all YouTubers deserve every respect you can get because you are basically putting yourselves out there to, say, you're putting out a product and you're just churning out the shows, and you've got to respect people who work hard. That's why, if you're successful, then you deserve the success you get because no one picks you out of a crowd and says, oh yeah, by the way, do a YouTube channel and here's all my followers. You have to earn what you get in YouTube. You have to earn it. And I think that's why massive respect for every YouTuber, even the YouTubers I don't like. I still respect the fact that you put yourselves out there and, and we're brave. It's a very brave position because you're getting all sorts of pork chops and wazzocks, trying to impress their mates at your expense. So to celebrate.
Well, the fact of the matter is, I just find it funny, to be honest with you. But we're going to wrap it up, people. Tomorrow night, I'm on with Kenny Ken again and the Yeti.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock tomorrow night. And then Thursday night, which will be a great show, I'm on with the Yeti. He's going to be, we're doing part 2 of Home and Aways. He's going to talk about his experiences, and he's got some good stories, I can tell you.
Not the Forest fans are mental.
Yeah.
Ask them about Boatsy. Ask them about Boatsy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's good fun talking about them. I mean, I put it out there. I've put it out there again. I wasn't one, nor was he, but we're talking about our experiences. And that's what it's about. It's past history. I like talking about history, and it's a different way of talking about things. But there we are. It's all out there. Thank you guys for watching. I'm not that far away from 4,500 subs. So if you're new, trying to get there, I'd like to try and get there by Christmas, if possible. So thank you all for watching. We will be back very soon. Thank you. I'm going to say to Matty. Thank you to Lee. Thank you to Kenny. And we'll talk again very soon.
Ramsdale all the way out. Take your dad with you.
Take care.